Discover the art of mastering sales through empathy and strategic questioning.
You give the other person something to disagree with. And so you're like smoke if you just simply ask questions. And even when somebody has an objection, right? And they say, hey, like I'll give you a gym example. It's like, well, are your trainers certified? I'd be like, well, what certification are you looking for? And then they'd be like, because they don't know, right?
Sure.
They just think they have to ask that question
right.
to seem like an informed consumer. I taught something that I called the closer framework for a very long time because it's just simple and because people can learn it. And so like we have a big chain of teeth whitening studios. I have to teach someone who makes $10 an hour to sell a $1,000 thing and sell like many of them every day. So how do I do that?
When you mean the vacation, it's like their dream.
Yes,
what they want.
Exactly.
Got
it. And that little story comes from a lot of times people sell the plane flight, not the vacation. They're like, you got to go through TSA, you got to bring your bags, and this is what we're going to do on the flight, and here's the check. That's like, no, no one cares. And I think one of the things that I got from Layla is keeping the human first. I know that sounds kind of soft, but like actually having that as the frame, because I genuinely believe the person who cares more about the prospect wins. And so like if they care, basically in that moment, if you care more about them than they do over the long term, you will be able to convince them because you actually are putting their needs first. And that also means that sometimes, and I tell my guys this, if you get to the end of the conversation, you really don't think it's the best thing for them to do,
push away.
Yeah, and that's a successful sale to me.
Yeah.
Because my point, the end point of a sale for me is a decision, not a sale. That's how I see it. And that way, my guys can win on every single conversation.
Anybody.
Anyone, I genuinely, I do think.
And why is that? Because you've seen so many different personalities win?
I believe that anything can be trained. So that's like a human belief of mine. I do think it will take much longer for some people than others, to be clear. Like I think you could take someone with Down syndrome and make a neurosurgeon. It would just take probably more resources than anyone is willing to do. And so basically, if you break down any skill, and so this is actually just, because I'm excited to talk about training because it's something I like a lot, but the more skilled the individual, the bigger the instruction. So I just now, I'm a co-owner of school. And so I said, listen, I'm going to promote school. That's what I'm going to do. That's the instruction.